and welcome to this Week 3 edition of Big Game Bound. I'm Chris Hagan. Is your team still undefeated? Is your team still winless? Either way, a lot of football still to be played, and it all starts in Cleveland on Thursday Night Football as the Browns host the Steelers. For that, let's bring in our guy from the land, PJ Ziegler. PJ, the Browns being the Browns last week, how do you bounce back from blowing a lead like that against the lowly Jets?
Yeah, that was a tough one for the team to swallow. I guess the good news is the fact that they're playing a Thursday night game, so a short, quick turnaround. Don't have much time to dwell on that. Got to get the problems solved, if you will, and get right back to it. Now, the biggest thing that they said, Chris, was the fact it's been miscommunication. Now, the problem is it's been miscommunication the last 2 weeks of the season. They had miscommunication in Carolina that nearly cost them a game against the Panthers, and they had the miscommunication last week that did cost them the game against the New York Jets. So I asked the players in the locker room on Sunday how confident you are that you could turn this around in 3 short days. They're very confident. I'm just wondering what took them. What did they do the last 8 weeks of training camp that they're having these miscommunication issues in week 1 and 2 of the season? These are things that should have been solved during training camp and perhaps even during the preseason, but many of the guys did not play during the preseason, and I think that's a big problem as they head now into week 3 of the regular season.
Now, as a Nick Chubb fantasy owner, I was happy to see him get back into the end zone there late in the game. But I heard him kind of saying that was a mistake. He takes the blame for that. But I think more of that onus falls on the defense because they still had to allow the Jets to go down the field and get those 2 late touchdowns. So plenty of blame to go around when you think about that shocking late loss.
You know, it's funny. Nobody was thinking about Nick Chubb taking a knee at the 1-yard line when he was going in to score. It wasn't until after the game when the Browns had lost that everybody was like, well, if Nick Chubb may have taken a knee, the Browns could have won the game. I don't want to put any blame on Nick Chubb. I think if you go up by two touchdowns in the National Football League with under 2 minutes to play, you should win. And the stats prove that. 2,289 consecutive teams have gone up by 13 points or more in the fourth quarter with under 2 minutes to play and have gone on to win the game, and the Browns certainly should have. And to the people who say that Nick Chubb should have taken a knee, I say this. What are the chances everything that went wrong or that had to go wrong did go wrong for the Browns? What are the chances if the Browns fumble one of those snaps while they're trying to take a knee and run out the clock and the New York Jets recover, then everybody would be switching their tune and saying, well, why didn't Nick Chubb just score a touchdown and you would have been up by a score? So you can look at this both sides of the fence, but I agree. I don't think you put any pressure or any of this on Nick Chubb. I think you put it all on the defense. You put it all on Joe Woods. You put it all on that secondary who has had miscommunication issues now for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, PJ, you got to figure the Browns will figure out a way to be the Browns. But listen, we all know about the well-documented Deshaun Watson situation. What about Jacoby Brissett? Had a lot of starts when he was with the Colts, so he's got that kind of experience. What has he done kind of trying to hold the fort down while they wait for Watson's return?
Yeah, in week 1 against the Carolina Panthers on the road, he did not look comfortable throwing the football at all, and the offense kind of sputtered, if you will, a little bit. Thankfully, they had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt who carried the load in that first game against the Carolina Panthers, but a completely different Jacoby Brissett against the New York Jets. He looked more comfortable. He was making the right reads. He was throwing the football, with some spin to it. Was hitting his receivers. I think the five incompletions that he had on Sunday, 2 of them were drops, and one of them was a receiver who had caught the ball but could not stay in bounds, and so that went as an incompletion. But he was certainly a much different quarterback than he was in week 1 against the Carolina Panthers, and the Browns now expect him, now that he has some more comfort under his belt, another week running the plays, running the offense. He'll have a chance now to continue to do what we saw on Sunday against the New York Jets as the Browns move forward without Deshaun Watson for the first 11 weeks of the regular season. And remember, Jacoby Brissett did not play much in the preseason. It was the 3rd preseason game when he got all of his reps, and it was only a few series worth. So the Browns were still using Deshaun Watson at points throughout preseason and throughout the training camp to get reps because, as head coach Kevin Stefanski said, listen, Deshaun Watson hasn't played a football game in a year and a half. We need to get him reps. But with that being said, Jacoby Brissett wasn't getting those reps because Deshaun Watson was getting those training camp reps. So I think now getting a little bit more comfortable with the offense, we'll see how that plays out come Thursday night.
Yeah, Brissett with only one pick, but it was very costly and ill-timed at that. Last thing for you, it's still just week 3, but as you said, trying to bounce back, short week, disappointing loss, and now you're in the division. How critical, even though it is week 3, is it to go out there and handle your business at home against those long-hated Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah, so kind of a twofold question here. One, it's important because it is an AFC North division game, and you're already sitting atop the division, albeit everybody has pretty much the same record except for the Cincinnati Bengals. So you want to make sure that you're not falling behind early in the season and then you're chasing these games come the end of the season when you need to win. So certainly that is a big key. And the other thing, too, is the Browns need this one to bounce back from what they had happen to them on Sunday against the New York Jets. You can't blow a 13-point lead and then come out there and then lose another one, because what will happen is then this becomes a snowball effect, and that's the last thing you want heading into now what will start to become a little bit tougher stretch of the season. They'll have the Atlanta Falcons coming up, a road game with Atlanta coming up after the Pittsburgh Steelers, but certainly this is the ones you want to win now early in the season so that in December, when you're looking at the playoff picture, you're not going back and saying, these were the games that we should have won earlier in the season that could have put us over the hump, if you will, and gotten us into the playoffs. And so certainly a big one for the Browns, certainly a big one for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who, by the way, their quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, played high school football just up the road from Cleveland, about 25 minutes at Menor High School. He will be coming back home to play and face the hometown team.
Hey, Hotshot, I didn't ask you that. Hey, always great to talk to you, my friend. Thanks for the time. We will see you again soon.
All right, Chris. Take care, buddy.
Our marquee matchup this week, a battle of AFC East unbeatens as the Bills head south to take on the Dolphins at 1 o'clock on Sunday on the Buffalo Beat. Here's our Heather Prusik.
Well, it'll be interesting to see which version of Tua Tagovailoa shows up in this matchup with the Bills. Is it going to be the one who could barely get anything going against the Patriots in week 1? Or is it going to be the one that led a miraculous fourth-quarter comeback this past week against the Ravens, throwing 6 touchdowns, 4 of those in the final 13 minutes of the game? Either way, he's got weapons at his disposal, and it starts with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
I mean, we've gone up against both of them before, but now they're on the same field. I always thought they were a talented football team over the last couple of years, and going against Miami, that is, and now adding Tyreek Hill to that mix they've got a tremendous amount of playmakers on that team, both sides of the ball and special teams, and very explosive on offense with what they can do in the throws down the field, the yards after catch. And it doesn't just come all from the backfield, it seems. From the wideouts. It comes from Gesicki as well as the running back core there. So very, very explosive. And then Tua is playing at a very high level as well.
And of course, there are a bunch of injury concerns for the Bills right now, especially in the secondary with Dane Jackson and Micah Hyde. If neither of those players can go, then the Bills' pass rush is really going to have to come up big in this one to help those guys out on the back end. I'm Heather Prusak.
Another division contest being played in Minnesota Sunday afternoon. The Vikings hosting NFC North foe Detroit. Let's talk Lions with my man, Jack Doles.
Oh, Chris, there's a lot of Honolulu and blue Kool-Aid being served up in Michigan right now. First, the Lions start on Hard Knocks, got everybody fired up. And after 2 weeks, they feature one of the top offenses in the National Football League. If you go back to last season, they've scored 35 points or more in 3 consecutive games. That's the first time this franchise has done that since 1952. Think about that for a minute. Even with a banged-up offensive line that was missing 3 of its 5 starters, they rushed for 192 yards against Washington on Sunday, averaged 8 yards a carry. Jared Goff threw 4 touchdown passes. but it's a couple of players that Brad Holmes has drafted since he took over as general manager that has really given this team a lift. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a 4th-round pick last year, 9 catches, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's 8 consecutive games with 8 catches or more, which ties an NFL record. On the other side of the ball, Aiden Hutchinson, the 2nd overall player taken in this year's draft, had 3 sacks. The Lions didn't get their first win last year until week 13. Now they're 1-1, and their head coach Dan Campbell says this team is headed in the right direction.
To be able to get our win, man, early in the season, week 2, you get early validation as to what we're doing, and we're doing that with really out all our bullets. You know, we got some guys out, and it just everything that we've talked about. Next man up, do your job, help us win, and we did that with the guys that were available.
That'll take more than a win or 2 before you find me with a blue Kool-Aid mustache. But Dan Campbell's right. At least through the first 2 weeks, things are finally trending in the right direction in Detroit.
Hey, thanks, Jack. Also in the 1 o'clock Eastern window, reigning AFC champ but still winless Cincinnati hits the road for a 2nd straight week, this time visiting the Jets. With the latest on the Bengals, here's our Jack Cole.
Well, it has been a rough start for quarterback Joe Burrow behind that Bengals revamped offensive line. New guys up front, but same old results, with Burrow having been sacked 13 times already this season, and that, of course, leads the NFL. While there is obviously cause for concern, this is no time to panic.
Very comfortable. Those guys are working hard to get it right. I can do a lot more to help them, too, and we can do more with play calling to help them as well. So we're getting this thing right. Nobody's panicking.
I think that's the encouraging thing is our guys have all embraced that and willing to tweak anything that needs to be tweaked, willing to be hard on themselves, willing to be coached. And I feel very comfortable about the direction this team's headed. But what we've shown is that we can come back. So there's no point in all of a sudden throwing everything out the window and saying we're going to throw the ball every snap. So we've proven that, unfortunately, too many times, but we can get back in any game. You know, we're never out of it. And again, just being patient and finding the right opportunities to get into our flow. Again, evaluate all areas of everything I can control to get us off to a better start.
The Bengals will try to earn their first win of the season this Sunday on the road at MetLife Stadium against the 1-1 Jets. For Big Game Bound, I'm Jack Pohl.
All right, thanks, Jack. Here's the rest of the Week 3 schedule. Lovie Smith leads his Texans into Chicago to face his old team, the Bears. 2 playoff teams from a year ago still winless this season, meeting in Nashville as the Raiders visit the Titans. The Red Hot Chiefs invading Indy to take on the still winless Colts. The Ravens on the road against the Patriots. We'll have an NFC East showdown in D.C. between the Eagles and Commanders. And in Carolina, it's the Saints and Panthers. In the 4 o'clock window, the Jaguars, fresh off a convincing win over the Colts, hit the road to challenge the Chargers. The Rams visit NFC West rival Arizona. The winless Falcons with a long flight to Seattle to go beak to beak with the Seahawks. And a good one down in Tampa, NFC contenders, the Packers and Buccaneers. Then on Sunday Night Football, a swing game in Denver between the 49ers and Broncos. Both teams 1-1 to start the season. San Fran, a slight road favorite in this one. On Monday night, the Dackless Cowboys looking for back-to-back wins with Cooper Rush at QB. They'll be on the road against the undefeated New York Giants. On that note, we bring in my pal Jarrett Payton from Chicago, the son of sweetness, former NFLer, always repping the U. He's JP. How about that introduction, Jarrett?
I appreciate you, Chris Hagan. You're the best in the business, man.
Well, thank you.
Ready to pick some games this week?
Well, let's see what happens. I mean, 2-1 last week, 2-1 week 1, 4-2. We need a breakthrough. We need a 3-0 week. It's not going to be easy, though. Let's start with the Raiders at your former employer, the Titans.
This one's a tough one for me, Chris, because you look at both teams 0-2 right now to start the season. Both are looking to find a way to be able to get that first win of the season. I'm leaning more towards the Tennessee Titans, not just because they're my old squad, but also the fact that you got the Raiders coming from the West Coast. It's always tough to be able to make that trek. And listen, Derrick Henry hasn't gotten going like everybody has thought he would early in the season, so I think it's going to be a heavy dose of him on that offensive side of the ball, take some shots down the field. And Mike Vrabel, he has these guys ready normally after a short week. I'm going with the Titans for that first win.
All right, we talked about you played some pro ball in Nashville. You played your college ball in Miami, and that's the site of this next game. I'm pretty excited about this one. Bills at Dolphins.
This is must-watch TV, Chris. When you look at this matchup, man, you got two teams, especially with the offenses and the quarterbacks right now, they're at the top of all those leaderboards when you look at all statistics, and it's really tough. Miami has really surprised me this year, and Tua and company on the offensive side of the ball, what they've been able to do vertically and also with all that speed that they have, it's very hard to contain. The only issue that I have with Miami is they can't stop a nosebleed. You saw that against the Ravens. So I think it's going to be a tough task to be able to stop, to me, the MVP right now in Josh Allen. I mean, he is playing out of his mind. Him and Stephon Diggs, both their connection. And I think I'm going with the better combined team on offense and defense. To me, that is the Bills. This is an easy one for me. Josh Allen and the Bills, they get the dub.
Let's see. Miami will try to go score for score against the Bills, and that is a tall task indeed. Finally, Packers at Buccaneers. I know you love yourself some Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I saw a lot of him this past weekend on Sunday Night Football going up against my Bears. And the one thing that I did see, Chris, is offensively, even though they're still trying to find that connection, Aaron Rodgers and his wide receivers, the running game is on point. So I think it's going to be tough going up against this Bucs defense. They are good and stout and solid against the run. So they're going to have to find ways to be able to penetrate holes through and keep being consistent in the run game as well. But for Green Bay, it's going to be not just running the ball, but getting those running backs opportunities on the outside in the passing game as well. They can do that. That will slow down a little bit of that rush that's coming towards Aaron Rodgers' way, but they're going to have to take some shots down the field. And when it comes to the Bucs, it's just real tough for Tom Brady and company. Too many injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Still trying to figure things out with that offensive line. Mike Evans is out with the suspension. I think it's just too much for the Bucs to be able to go up against Aaron Rodgers, who to me right now is going to come up on top on this one and take Brady in this matchup. And guess what? I don't like to say this, but the Packers get the dub.
Yeah, two Hall of Fame quarterbacks for sure going at it in that one. Now, let's take a look at JP's picks for Week 3. We give him the toughest games each week. He's 4-2. This week he likes the Titans over the Raiders. He'll take the Bills to keep on steamrolling, getting past the Dolphins. And he likes Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay over Tom Brady and the Bucs. JP, let's get a breakthrough. Let's go 3-0, and we'll get together either way, win, lose, or draw this time next week.
See you next week, Chris.
Well, in this business, we're always looking for a good soundbite, and there are plenty of chances to find one on a weekly basis. You never know what you'll hear around the league on an open mic.
Probably shouldn't have scored right there, honestly, looking back at it. It cost us a game. A lot of things went wrong, not just one thing, but collectively as a unit, as a team, we could have all did things different. But, I mean, it's only a problem because we didn't win, you know, so I probably should have went down.
I wish it were hotter. That's a phrase that Mike likes to say. More so reverse psychology, if you will. It gets really hot out here, and so just say it, believe it.
All the good teams I've been on too, I've gotten their kicked at some time, throughout the year. It's how you respond, and the measure of who we're going to be as a team is not last week. The measure of who we are going to become as a team is how we respond to situations like last week.
I like to throw the ball down the field. I think every quarterback, deep down in the heart, likes to throw the ball as far as they can down the football field and watch their playmakers go up and get it. So we're looking for that, and we got to look for the right opportunity, right timing.
I appreciate everybody's, opinion. I have to make sure that, everybody here, the players and coaches are all aligned, and I know that they are, and that's how you get things fixed and you win a game.
We were 3-0 last year, and that didn't matter. It's all about what you do next week, and so I think our guys have to have that attitude this week of it's all about what we do next week and battle.
He's doing everything you think he would do. He's pushing the envelope and so forth, and he's getting the swelling down, and it's starting to look. It looks pretty good, but let's get the stitches out first.
I'm usually pretty good at the quarterback sneak, so even though he says that he doesn't expect it to happen, I think there's a time and place for it. So we'll keep that. I'll keep that on his radar. No, my plan is to save it until the Super Bowl. So one of these Super Bowls, I'm gonna sneak in there and do it. It's the least expected thing, obviously. I'm gonna do it, and I might go over the top this time to try to save that knee.
And on that note, it's time to say goodbye. For Jared Payton, producer Phil Nardiello, and all of our Next Star correspondents, I'm Chris Hagan. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Wake 3, and we'll see you next time on Big Game Bound.